Reading has really been a very, very important part of my life. I'm fortunate that I had a mother who loved to read, who read to me before I could read myself and taught me to love to read. And in fact, I loved reading so much that I ended up making reading my career and became a librarian. Teaching reading to students and working with books and students is a really very satisfying part of my life.
As Mrs. Bush often says, parents are a child's first teachers, and that is so true. And it's important that parents reinforce literacy in the home, that you talk to your child, that you read to your child, rhyme, sing, play games, all those little things that really are instinctive with moms and dads all over the world.
We see literacy as being a fundamental building block to the social stability of countries and of the world, and economic stability of countries in the world. And we see it as literacy as an essential building block to the basic characteristics of freedom.
She has been traveling to many countries in the world, to Asia, to the Arab world, to Africa, and also to Latin America, advocating the importance of education and literacy, in particular for women. In that context also, she stresses the importance of educating mother.
Well, I've had a wonderful chance to visit programs around the world, and one of my favorite ones was a program I visited in South Africa called Mothers to Mothers to Be. It's really a mentoring program where new mothers who are HIV positive but who have delivered healthy babies mentor another group of mothers who are pregnant and also HIV positive. They help each other take antiretrovirals, stay on their medications. The goal is to have a whole generation of HIV-free babies and young people. One of the visits that I remember very well that I really loved was a visit to St. Mary's Hospital in Nigeria. I got to meet with women who were on antiretrovirals, who were HIV positive or had AIDS, and had started antiretroviral treatment and were living healthy lives. They started delivering antiretrovirals, and they did it themselves, which meant that their patients had to pay about $45 a month, which was a lot of money. So since then, PEPFAR, the President's Emergency Relief Plan for AIDS, has come in to help St. Mary's, and I had the pleasure of being able to deliver the first batch of antiretroviral drugs from PEPFAR to St. Mary's. I visited a wonderful program in Russia that was a terrific pediatric AIDS program with precious young children who are healthy. They danced for me and they were so cute. It was really fun to get to be with them. Most of those children are orphans. They've been abandoned by their parents because they were born with HIV. When I was in Rwanda, I visited a wonderful program. World Relief works with all of these churches so they can support the members of their church, so they can encourage them to be tested. Because if you don't know what your HIV status is, if you refuse to be tested, then you give up any chance of being helped. And you also, of course, take the risk of spreading AIDS or HIV to the people you love. And I met with a precious young 12-year-old girl who's raising her little brothers because her parents aren't living. And with all the children there who need parents, they need mentoring parents, and they need help from big brothers and big sisters and all the people that might support them because their parents are no longer living. It's really important that girls and women have the opportunity to become informed about how HIV is transmitted. When I was in Tanzania, I visited a great school, a great madrasa that was actually funded in part first by the Aga Khan Foundation as a way to make sure that teachers are trained to teach, and that the madrasas that are in Tanzania and several other African countries have teachers who know how to teach who are trained so that students really learn. I visited 2 grade schools when I was there, a precious little preschool and then this school for older students. At both of those schools, the teachers had been trained in a great training program that's in a number of African countries that makes sure teachers are well equipped to be able to teach students so that students can learn. One of my favorite teacher training institutes is in Kabul, Afghanistan. After the fall of the Taliban there, we opened with USAID and the Afghan American Women's Council, a great teacher training institute at Kabul University.
And the goal of that institute is to bring women in from all around the country, from many rural communities in Afghanistan, and train them so that they could go back to their communities and train other teachers and really expand literacy development, particularly for girls who have not had educational opportunities for a long time in Afghanistan during the reign of the Taliban.
This White House conference is a historic breakthrough in terms of the willingness of the leadership of many countries in the world to step forward and to say on a continuing basis we are going to continue to fight for literacy for all. We're going to base it on good research, abilities for teaching and learning that are proven to work. We're going to base it on best practices.
It is crucial to educate women. It is crucial to make women literate. In that context, Madame Bush is making very important contributions. We appreciate it very much.
Beyond the event and beyond the science and the best practices, having the advocacy of Laura Bush, First Lady of the United States, in support of literacy for all in the world is in and of itself the greatest piece of advocacy, and it gives the greatest legitimization to this worldwide drive so that all people can read and write that we could ever have asked for.
Literacy is important for everyone, men and women. It's very important for people's economic success. It's important for countries' success as well. Countries that have a high literacy rate also usually have better health statistics because people are health literate as well as literate about all economic issues. So it's really time for all of us across the world to make a commitment to each other and to ourselves that will spread literacy to every corner of the globe.